What's going on YouTube? This is Vincent from Vince Traveling Fitness, and today we will be teaching you how to make a home gym for the cheapest amount possible. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our own weight plates out of concrete. So today we're going to do some 55s and a 35. My project's actually going to be some 55s, 35s, 25s, 10s and 5s. Okay, so we're going to have a good mix of weight plates so we can do some weight increments. The mold we're using is actually just flower pots. Okay, so I grabbed flower pots that were about the same size as an Olympic plate for the biggest ones, and then we got some smaller ones for the smaller weights as we go and get ready for that. Okay. Whoa! Comment longtemps que tu peux le faire? Now, before we mix the concrete, what we're going to want to do is to prepare our molds. So the flower pots come with, what's up, kid? Oh yeah? Is that a chenille? Caterpillar, or what'd you find?
Can I see? Are you picking the broccoli?
So we want to get the molds ready. So all we got to do for that is, since they're flower pots, they actually have holes in them so the water drains out. And that's the opposite of what we want for a mold. So just tape up the holes with some duct tape, and then for them to be weight plates, what you have to do is mold out your opening for your barbell. So in my case, I'm using a 2x4 as a barbell because it's strong, it's cheap, and I don't have to pay $300 for a barbell, which I will do at some point, just maybe after I'm done my studies. So you do this, and then the next step after that is going to be to use some silicone spray to spray down your mold to make sure that it can come out once the concrete has cured. And actually, one more little detail I want to point out too is that the opening I'm using, that I'm molding out for my barbell, I've made a little bit wider at the bottom so that the weight plate can slide on and off your barbell more easily. So what I've done for that is that I've duct taped a plastic bag around the bottom of the 2x4 here. Okay, and that'll give it just a couple millimeter wiggle room, and that'll make all the difference. And the last step for the molds before we start mixing the concrete is going to be just to lube them up with some silicone spray. I got the WD-40 brand, but as long as it's silicone spray, should be fine. N'est-ce pas, Olivia? And you want to be generous with your application because you don't want to break your concrete trying to you don't want to break the concrete trying to, but yeah, how did that get in there? Trying to get it out of the mold after it's cured, because that'll be a waste of money, a waste of time, and all of that. It's not actually bung spray, it's silicone spray. It's just a lubricant so that the stuff comes out easier. Oh, we're outside. It's not like it's just silicone spray.
Oh no, it says flammable. No, it definitely says poison.
Should be enough for those guys. Next up, we're going to have a look at how to mix the concrete. Balancer. Alright, and now we're at the step where we get to mix our concrete. And concrete apparently is just like protein shake, where you don't ever put your powder in first because then it just clumps up. So what you do is that you measure out the water you want to use, and then you put your concrete in after. So one bag of your basic concrete premix needs 3.5 liters. So that means that one bag gives you, you know, if it's 30 kilos plus 3.5 liters, 1 liter is a kilo, so 33.5 kilos, that's 73 pounds per bag. And that's how we're going to figure out how much to how much to pour per mold, so that we get the weights that we want. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the size of a weight plate, I've figured out that the weight of the concrete is 0.0688 pounds per cubic inches. So from there you can figure out the volume of a cylinder you'll need to be able to get the weights that you want. Pour your water in first. And notice I'm wearing gloves. That's because I don't have any proper tools to mix concrete with, so I use my hands. But concrete has a habit of messing up your nails. So the trick is you don't want to put the whole bag at a time. So you just put in a little bit at a time, and then you mix it as you go. That way your stuff doesn't clump up, right? So obviously it's very runny right now. Which is good. All right. Okay. Notice too that I put garbage bag under there just to pick up anything that might get spilt as I'm mixing it. Keep in mind I'm far from being a mason here, so this is probably not the best technique to use, but that's just the way that I've learned to do it, and it's worked for what I've done so far. All right, and then I've already marked where I need to pour to for me to have a 55-pound plate in there. So at this point, I'm just going to pour it in. Okay, and I'm just going to level it off at this point just to see where we're at. Okay, because we might be getting kind of close to it. Kind of close to where we want to be. Okay, so we're almost there. Not quite though. We want this to stay more or less level here, so put some taps there, get the air bubbles out. Okay. Well, here's the big reveal here. So we got one of the big plates unmolded. This is the little one. That one didn't turn out too great, but that's going to do the trick. And now let's see if we can get this sucker flopped out before the camera there. There we go. All right. Let's see what this one looks like. There we go. And we just kind of edge away at the edges here. And then that's it. And finally here, I'm just going to demonstrate that the weights do work. I've got 400 pounds, roughly. It's like 396 on my 2x4, and I don't have any issues with it. Pretty solid, feels pretty good, despite the fact that it is just a 2x4. A barbell would be better, but that's going to be up to you when you decide to make your own weights. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and have a great day.